Hello, everyone. Uh, Happy summer. And summer is the time of growth and the time of nurturing the things that we want to grow. And what are the things that I want to grow in my being and in my life? And how can I identify that which is nurturing and sustaining for me? And what we want during the summer is to look at what is sustainable for us. And we also want to be looking at, what can we identify that will assist and that will guide and that will cleanse and that will heal our atmosphere. And our atmosphere, our personal atmosphere and our greater atmosphere are linked. And what is happening in that greater atmosphere is happening in this atmosphere. And whatever is happening in this atmosphere is impacting and affecting like this greater atmosphere. And so some of the things that we can think about during the summer is, during the summer, some of the things we can think about during the summer are what kind of atmosphere do I want to be creating? One of the things that we are able to look at when we come to explore ourselves and know ourselves and do deep personal inquiry and almost like find out more about ourselves, is that we can, or not almost, but actually, right, actually learn more about who we are and learn more about ourselves through that personal inquiry of asking ourselves questions, asking ourselves things like, well, what do you like? And what does sustain you? And what is it that um, feel about this circumstance that's happening right now? And what is it that you need around this circumstance right now? What is it that you want around the circumstance right now? And then that ability to use our thoughts and our words to create what it is that we want to create. What is it that we want to be making of our lives? And that we're born for something. Like everybody is born for something. We're all here to do something. We're all here to create something. And we're all here to learn about love and to learn from love. And so why am I here? Why am I here? One of the reasons that I'm here is to experience love and to give and to receive love. And how can I give my love? What are the ways that I can give my love? And in spiritual identity is a course that I teach and that begins in the fall. It begins in September, in late September. But in that course, we go over, where am I? Where am I in space and time? Who am I? And we look at what is it that I can do? What is it that I can do? What is it that I can give? How can I give this great love that is living inside of me? So we look at how can I give this great love that I have inside of me, and even if we don't feel a great love inside of us, we can find that great love. And so the things that we're here to do, we're here to love and we're here to create something. We're here to create something that is completely and totally unique, that is ours and that comes from this cosmos, this element of our own spirit, this element of our own soul. And so when we're looking at spiritual identity, we're looking at several different things. We're looking at connection. We're looking at what are we connected to? How can we connect to something that gives us energy and that supplies us energy that is divine, that is greater than us? Do we have that connection? Can we feel that connection? And so one of the things that we look at in spiritual identity is we look at how can I feel the connection to the sacred within myself and all around me? How can I find guidance? How can I experience navigational fluency? This is something that I'm writing about in the book that I'm working on right now. What can I do to experience this navigational fluency? And navigational fluency is about knowing who I am and knowing where I am, or even being in the process of discovering who I am and where I am. And so looking at what is my location and who am I and what can I do with this love? And then we also look at dreams and life dreams, night dreams, and daydreams. We're all dreaming, and we have the daydream that we're all in now. And then we also have our night dreams, which we would consider the most important dreams. And how do we work with them? This is something that we also look at in our spiritual identity course. But there are many different ways that we can study the soul and that we can find the soul. What is happening with our spirit? How come we become dispirited and disenchanted? And there's a feeling of not having meaning. And so how do we find that meaning? How do we explore that meaning? How do we come to know not only ourselves, but our gifts that we're giving to future generations and to those who are yet unborn? And so what is my connection to spirit? What is my connection to the divine? How can I find myself? Where am I? Who am I? What and who do I love? And if we don't know those things, we get to discover those things together. The other thing is that we look at is we look at how do we find guidance when we don't know those things or when we can't identify those things. How do we experience the connection that gives us the guidance that we need? And then looking at our own connections to our ancestors. We have all of these beautiful, every culture globally has spirits and the spirit world, the intuitive nature. And how do we work with the spiritual? How do we work with our own spirit? Since every culture believes that in the world there is no people who don't believe in the soul or don't believe in the spirit. And so, how do we connect? All people have a soul, and how do we connect to that soul and what is soulful for us so that we can have that fulfillment and remember who we are and where we are and do the good we can do. And so there are several different ways that we can do this, but one of the ways is looking at how we can create and what we want to create and how to love ourselves and each other and how to have communities that create and sustain us because really we're here to look out for one another. So how do we look out for one another? How do we care for one another? And so these are some of the things that we can explore together, not only in the course, but just even in our daily lives, just to ask ourselves, what is it that sustains me? What does sustainability mean to me? How can I do that personal inquiry, but also how can I start asking things of the greater good or of the divine or of the sacred? There is so much sacred. There's all this sacred around us. And how can we touch that sacred and become intimate in a loving and positive way to ourselves and to others in a clear way with that sacred energy or with that divine, with that spirit that is the divine. And so I would be curious to explore that with you, but we can explore that right now together, just looking at what is my connection to the divine. And if I knew who I was, who would I be without all of my roles, without all of the things that everybody else has asked me to do? Who am I beyond all of those roles, beyond mother, beyond daughter, beyond friend, teacher, beyond my job, beyond what I do for a living? Who am I? And, can I say that I'm love, or can I say that I'm spirit, or can I say that I'm nature, or the good, the true, and the beautiful of nature? Or, but what is it that's radiant of my heart? Who am I beyond all those things? And then what we do is we build. We can build on those things, and we can answer those questions. We can build on those things. And what do we want to build? What do we want to build? So hopefully we can have some navigational fluency and remember who we are and where we are and what we've come to do. That's what I'm wanting to do every day, is remember who I am and where I am and what I've been called to do. There's also callings, what I've been called to do. And that is something that is beyond us. And so how do I find that guidance, follow that guidance, explore that guidance? And I really love this. There's this really beautiful poem that I'd like to share with you. And it's by this beautiful human. This beautiful human. Now I'm looking it up, right? I'm just like, so good. By this beautiful human, James Bertolino. And it is from Life Prayers. I love this book. This is like a regular for me. But it says, may your love be firm, and may your dream of life together be a river between many shores, by day bathed in sunlight, and by night illuminated from within. May the heron carry news of you to the heavens, and the salmon bring the sea's blue grace. May your many thoughts spiral upward toward the leafy vines, like fiddle strings in the wind, and be as noble as the Douglas fir. May you always find yourself back with love pulling you around to one another's minds. And I shifted some of the lines in that, but it is the original bones are by James Bertolino. I hope that you're having a really beautiful day. and that the summer is sustaining you. And I hope that you find your navigational fluency in that place of centeredness where you can give your gifts and serve the future generations.